Hello everyone, I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television. Thanks for watching this spotlight on candidates for City Council in 2019. I wanted to mention to everyone that this is a mail-in ballot election. The elections office is going to mail out the ballots by October 16th. So if you haven't received your ballot in the mail, and it's say October 20th, please research what happened to it. You can call the Missoula County Elections Office at this number, 258-4751, and the ballots have to be in by Tuesday, November 7th at 8 p.m. Well, I'd like to introduce my candidate, and it is Gwen Jones. She's a candidate incumbent for Ward 3. Welcome, Gwen. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You know it. So, in this format, I just wanted an opportunity for candidates to not necessarily be in a public forum. Here in the beautiful MCAT garage, the sound is better, and hopefully the lighting is a little better. So I'm asking everyone the same 5 questions, which really were just an opportunity for candidates to let their potential constituents get a look at them. So here's your first question. What had inspired you to seek office? Now, of course, you're an incumbent, so you may want to modify it or take your mind back. I don't know. Or I could say, what inspired you to seek office again?
Plenty to work with there.
Right.
So I originally, it's funny, way back in college, I wanted to go into government, and I thought a good route was law school. So I went to law school and then wound up practicing law. I never actually went into government.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, I got involved in a neighborhood issue and wound up being on the neighborhood council, and then from neighborhood council went to city council, and found that it's, first of all, I love having had a career, having raised kids, having a lot of life experience to bring to the table. I found that very valuable. And having a law degree is a really nice set of tools, because basically we are making laws. And I just really enjoy doing it. So for me, I spent a lot of time, especially the first couple of years on council, meeting with people and learning so much. And there's always going to be more to learn. But after a couple of years, I started to finally feel like I was effective, and now I'd like to build on that. So I'm very excited to run for council and honored.
Great. How have you campaigned? What routes have you taken?
Sure. So I approached it the same way this time as I did 4 years ago, and that was create a good roster of endorsements, raise money from people that I know, and basically have yard signs, have a website, and knock on doors and talk to people along as well as going to any event that I'm invited to. And so it's pretty traditional, pretty conventional, but it works. And especially the door knocking this time has been a very different experience than 4 years ago when I was an unknown. There's always some people who are not happy with whatever's going on in Missoula or with me, and that's fine. You can never please everyone, but I'd say I've really had just 2 or 3 people out of 1,300 doors that I've knocked who have not been happy with me, and most people are very positive and supportive and appreciate that I work hard at it. I prepare, try and ask good questions, and communicate well. So it's been really nice, and I like knocking doors to kind of check in with people and see what's on their mind, and also use it as an educational opportunity to bring them up to speed on issues.
And I'm going to ask Neil to show people those 2 points of contact people can use for your candidacy electronically. One, looks like your Facebook page, and then how do people find that one?
My Facebook page is Gwen Jones for Council. So I think you have to go to Facebook and just put that in, and it should take you there.
Right.
And then I also have a website.
Oh yeah, Neil showed the website. Oh, he showed the elections one. Oh, here's your website. Oh, and could you tell people the URL? The
It is
www.
gwenjonesforcouncil.org.
Got it.
Council, Council.
Right. Well, here's Segue. On your door knocking or interacting with constituents, what have you learned during the campaign? Are there new concerns from 4 years ago, for instance?
Yes, 4 years ago, there was a lot of discussion about the water company and the condemnation case. What I'm hearing now, there have been a few questions about 5th and 6th Street, the restriping on those streets, so I love talking through that with people. Taxes, and I agree that taxes are going up on a kind of a unsustainable basis, I guess, is that this trajectory is worrisome. And so I spent a lot of time last fall researching taxes and why is this happening. And I use the opportunity on the doors to talk to people about our need for tax reform, that we do not have a very diverse tax base at all. And when you pull too much from the property tax bucket, we're paying for everything with our property taxes as opposed to pulling from, we used to have a more diverse tax base. We no longer do, and we need to address that, hopefully through legislative action. So I hear about that. I hear about affordable housing some. But I also have to say, people love Missoula, and people are very happy to be living here. So it's nice hearing that positive feedback.
Yeah. Okay, here's the tough one. What is the biggest challenge you want to help Missoulians overcome?
So I'm going to give a total politician answer to that, but the 3 things I have put on my walking cards and what I would say my main platform has been are affordable housing, and we really need to do what we can as a local government and as a community to try to arrest housing prices and to the degree that we can keep things affordable, because it impacts the entire social fabric of our community, and it will have long-term ramifications for what Missoula is like as a community in the future. So we need to work on that. Climate change, we need to keep working on that. As a city, we've made some progress, but we need to do a lot more. And then, as I had mentioned earlier, I think tax reform is really important, because if we're going to sufficiently fund our government, get fire and police to places quickly, and provide those essential services at the level we expect, but also do affordable housing to the degree that we can and work on climate change, the linchpin is having a sufficiently diverse tax base so that we are able to do this and fund things sufficiently. So I think those are the important. So it's a trifecta. So
yeah, that's a lot of
throw all that
challenge.
out, yeah.
Well, and then the inverse of that struggle part, what are some of the great opportunities City Council can help realize?
You know, such a big question. Missoula is changing rapidly these days, and we have new industries coming in. We have technology, we have tourism, we have this burgeoning music scene, so much change going on, really exciting, but all of that change also causes stress. And for people who don't want change that quickly, that is very hard. So I think as a city councilor, our opportunities are, we should be good communicators, first of all. We are the face of government to people in our ward. They know our face. We are at a lower level than the mayor or county commissioners, so I think they feel comfortable contacting us, and frankly, I know a lot of people in my ward. So we are the communicators, and we need to take that seriously and responsibly, so I'm put a lot of time into answering phone calls and emails. If I attend as many neighborhood council general meetings as I can. That's a big part of our job, as well as setting policy. We need to communicate, and as part of that communicating, we need to educate our constituents, because there's a lot going on. They may not have all the information. Oftentimes when I'm out knocking on doors, I'll get a question that is, someone has an impression of something going on in Missoula, and it's completely wrong. So I always try and correct that. But educating them as to what's going on in Missoula and why certain things are happening and what we can do, what we can control and what we can't control. Those are the common themes that I'm constantly talking about.
And you get closing remarks of your choice.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to say thanks, first of all, for having me in here. I really appreciate that. And I have really enjoyed serving on council. It is a ton of work, and there's many a week when it is a full-time job, and I wedge all of the other parts in my life in around it and just make it work, because I really enjoy doing it. And I'm looking forward to a second term if I'm elected. Missoula, I have deep roots here. I grew up here and I've raised my kids here. I was gone for 20 years, but came back, raised my kids here and my family. And it's such an honor to be able to be involved, helping to make decisions to steer the ship in the direction that I think it should be going in. And my impression of Missoula is most people are very happy living here and really are open to and welcome a lot of the things that are happening. We just have to keep communicating and including everyone in the conversations and decide as a community what our future is going to look like.
Great. Gwen, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks so much for having me. It's
No,
always good to see you.
And thank you, dear viewer, for taking the time to learn a little bit about this year's 2019 City Council race. Once again, this is a mail-in ballot race, so if you don't receive a ballot by October 20th, please call the Missoula County Elections Office. They're facilitating this election, and you can find out all manner of things from the website too. I'm going to ask Neil to show that website just briefly so you know. It's kind of like Missoula County Elections Office. Just Google that, and it'll get you to this page. And you can check your voter status. You could see whether your registration lapsed or there's some problem with it by just bouncing off this site to the state one. And also, if you need to call, feel free to do so. The number at the elections office is 258-4751. Well, for MCAT, I'm Joel Baird. Thanks for watching.